Hey yo, how's it going everybody? Have for y'all today another Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Thank y'all for the support on yesterday's battle. Of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. Also, let me know in the comment section below, with Zygarde now being banned from OU, how do you think the metagame is going to change? Personally, I don't play OU enough to really know what's going to happen, but I'm sure maybe you guys play way more OU than I do, so maybe y'all can let me know in the comment section below and educate me, because again, I have no idea. And speaking of OU, that is what tier we are in for today's video. I got this really cool team I got from my boy Harris. Is awesome, and I'm facing somebody off of my Discord. I feel really bad because I did not save the video with their name. We're gonna go off Xnoc Conks. I don't know. We're gonna call him Conks because that's what it looks like backward, but correct me if I'm wrong, my man. You see this, please let me know. But yeah, going into this game, he's got Sticky Webs offense with the Donphan, which actually Donphan is a little bit scary because if it has Gunk Shot, that means my Tangrowth is not a switch in, and that could be a little bit terrifying. Oh, it could also have Rock Polish. Oh, that sounds like a fun idea. So yeah, that Donphan offensively could be a little bit annoying, but Webs could be a little problematic because of Hoopa, Mimikyu, and the Xurkitrees all being scary under Webs because they are faster than what typically is able to deal with them. So I end up leading off with my Mega Lopunny here, thinking he would lead off with the Smeargle, but he is smarter than that, and he ends up leading off with the Donphan, probably expecting me to expect his Smeargle lead and lead off with my Lopunny, because this way Donphan can easily take any hit that my Mega Lopunny wants to go for, and I know that, so I'm not going to stay in here. I'm going to make the safe switch, or what I thought was a safe switch, into my Garchomp. But this Earthquake does 40%, just about 40%, maybe like 39%, but that did way more damage than I was expecting from this Donphan. And now I can either switch out here and risk him potentially predicting me to switch out because I am fearing Ice Shard, or I can stay in and try to Toxic this Donphan and put it on a timer. I won't be able to get up rocks, but because he is a hyper offensive team, I don't really think I need rocks to be able to deal with his frail offensive mons. So I end up missing Toxic and then expecting him to Ice Shard once again. I'm going to make the safe switch into my Tangrowth here, which can easily go for the Giga Drain. I am super annoyed at this damn Donphan because I missed Toxic, and I'm just going to go for Giga Drain, as obvious as it is. And then in comes the Hoopa. Now this is a little bit scary, but because I am Assault Vested and because of Tangrowth's just great natural physical defense bulk, I am going to stay in and go for my own knockoff. I realized that this Lamas is a female, so you go, girl. Yeah, I'm going to go for knockoff and get rid of the Assault Vest from his own Hoopa. I've never seen an Assault Vest Hoopa, but it's kind of cool, I guess, because it doesn't have the best physical defense around. Regardless though, this is where I can have at least some use out of my Garchomp after not being able to connect with the Toxic, and I'm going to sack it off to Hoopa to chip it down, putting it in guaranteed range of where I can bring in my non-U-turn Tornadus. Yes, you heard that correctly, and knock him out with the knockoff. Otherwise, I could have potentially brought in my Mega Lopunny, but I guess the downside of that is that Donphan just comes in for free. At least by bringing in my Tornadus, I can kind of maybe scare him and make him think I'm going to go for Hurricane, but knock off regardless. I think in that scenario was definitely the best play I could have gone for, as he now is able to bring in the Xurkitrees. I do have my Tangrowth, even though I do not have my Assault Vest. I can still at least live any one hit, I'm pretty sure, and in return hopefully Earthquake him, as he actually turns out to have the Volt Switch, which I was not expecting. I figured he'd be like Tail Glow 3 attacks, or maybe like actually sub Tail Glow, or Z Electric Terrain, maybe something like that, something along like the setup side. But if it had been a setup one, I didn't expect him to have Volt Switch, but he does have the Volt Switch, which is annoying because now with me losing my Garchomp, he can Volt Switch for free, and if these webs stay up, he can just Volt Switch for free and outspeed everything that I have. So that's even worse. And I end up playing really dumb around this Smeargle. I think what I should have done here was brought in my Tornadus, but I thought that maybe he would have the Nuzzle, and I really didn't want my Tornadus to get paralyzed. And I don't have Taunt on Tornadus, but I at least would have maybe been able to deflog and kept the webs off of the field. As in comes the Scolipede. I need to try and damage this Scolipede and put it in range, and where hopefully Aqua Jet into a Fake Out will be able to finish it off, as I do go for the Earthquake here, do about like 20-ish%, like maybe 25% there, as he went for the Swords Dance. He is going to end up getting greedy here which is really good for me because after this next earthquake, I guarantee put him in range of where an Aqua Jet from my Adamant Choice Banded Adaptability Crawdon will be able to pick him off. Although I will force in the Xurkitrees or potentially the Mimikyu, I can at least break the disguise on the Mimikyu and get off some damage on Xurkitree as I lose my Tangrowth, and now Xurkitrees is actually looking really terrifying. So bringing Crawdon here, shouts out if you get the nickname, because Crawdon is the one that knocks. I'm gonna go for the Aqua Jet here because there is literally no other play I can do. I need to Aqua Jet this thing or I'm gonna get swept by a Scolipede, and I don't really want that. So I still have a chance to win this, but because I really misplayed earlier, he was able to get up the webs and the rocks, and I need to Aqua Jet again as I do a surprising amount of damage to this Xurkitrees. I did not expect Aqua Jet to do that much, and he ends up knocking me out with the Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, because he got the Beast Boost here, my Lopunny can not live a Thunderbolt from this Xurkitrees. If he didn't get the special attack Beast Boost, I would have been able to live a Thunderbolt here and potentially gone for the return or high jump kick, but I'm going to try and go for the fake out in hopes that I knock him. It lived. It just barely lived, as I'm going to go ahead and sack off my Tornadus here. Things are going downhill very fast in this battle for me. So I lose my Tornadus, I lose my Defogger, webs are here to stay, Xurkitrees is at +2 special attack now, and I'm basically forced to go for the fake out with my Lopunny in this scenario. However though, I believe that fake out is entirely too obvious because he is going to be 100% expecting me to do it. Because of how obvious and how threatening this Xurkitree is, what I'm going to actually do is go for the high jump kick, expecting him to bring in the Donphan to be able to save the Xurkitrees for later in the match to potentially try and weaken my Magearna, which Magearna in the back, if this Donphan is gone, I actually have a pretty solid chance of winning this game now. So I go for the high jump kick once again. I get rid of the Donphan as in comes the Xurkitrees. Because he lost his special attack boosts, I can live this Thunderbolt if he is not Life Orb or Choice Specs, and in return knock him out with the return. Actually, I did not expect to say return in the same sentence there twice, but yeah, down goes Xurkitrees, and then in comes the Mimikyu, which Mimikyu can actually win him the match here, because with him being forced to knock me out and outspeeding me in the webs, I don't break his disguise. So my Magearna not only has to break its disguise, but this allows Mimikyu, if it is a Swords Dance Ghostinium Z variant, to Swords Dance and then the following turn knock me out with a Z Shadow Claw. So my only hope is that he is not a Z Mimikyu. Maybe he's Life Orbed. If he is Life Orbed, I can still live an Adamant Life Orb +2 Shadow Claw, but I cannot live a Z Shadow Claw. And it turns out that he is not Ghostinium Z, and in return, I will be able to knock him out with my Corkscrew Crash, is what I think the Steel Z move is called, and just barely just crawl out with a victory. So very good game, man. I did not expect this game to come down this close, but I did really misplay around the Smeargle on the webs, but that return play into Donphan, the high jump kick play, sorry, into Donphan, I think was what really swung momentum back into my favor, and then at that point, put myself in the best position with Magearna. So yeah, very fun game. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow definitely. So thank you all for watching. Later, everybody.